Hi guys, welcome to Miller's Laboratory. My name is Sue. Thanks for joining me today. I'm just going to be flipping through another little book that I'm putting in my Etsy shop, little journal. This one is an old, I think from 1900 cover. We'll see the title page when we open it up because it's kind of hard to read what it was. But it's kind of a cloth covered one. I'm going to zoom in really close so you can see the texture of it. I think it's really cool. It was pretty dirty, but I did clean it up a little bit, and then I used this pretty upholstery fabric on the spine, and I just glued a length of sari silk right underneath that, so it's going to stay attached to the book when you untie it. Let's go ahead and do that, and then real quick I'm just going to grab my ruler here and we'll take some measurements so you know what those are. It's not a very big book. Let's see. It's about 6 inches high and 4.5 inches wide, and you can see it is gaitering a little bit. At the spine it's about 1 inch, and if I just let that be on its own, it will open up to about 2, but you can easily tie it closed and get it nice and neat. There are 96 pages in here. There are some areas where you can add your own pages too, so there is room to expand this a little bit. All right. On the inside, I've just left the original cover, and the gentleman's name who owned the book is there, Carl Wolgamott. Interesting name. You can see how I did the inside here. I used some pattern tissue paper layered with some really thin fabric to reinforce, and that's what the pages are stitched to, and then it's glued into the cover. This is some actual vintage wallpaper. I picked some rolls up at a store in Muskegon. I was so excited, so I'm using a few different ones here in this book. I thought that was really pretty. This is a paper bag. And you can see I just left this plain. The paper bag on the outside I've also left plain for you to write or decorate as you like. I tucked a little journal card inside, and you can see that I have added a fussy cut image of some flowers there, and I would say that that is the theme of this book, is flowers or botanical. This is from the Floral book. Page out of that, which is a modern book. Page from an old ledger. Page from a really old book. On this page I have created a pocket using a print of a postcard that I printed onto tissue paper or onto tracing paper, so you can kind of see through it. And I tucked another journal card inside there. Spent a lot of time on the tags and journal cards in this one. They all have a little bit more collage or a little bit more work put into them. Here I just have a little uptuck made from a Roxy Creations label, and it's a tag. You could add a string or something to that if you wanted to, but I just left the hole empty. Then here is a little stub where you can attach your own envelope or photo or whatever sort of page you want to put in there. A digital collage page here, also from Roxy Creations. This is original title page from the book, and I just added the birds on there, so we're more fables in slang. And then this was also the 2-page spread of the title, and I thought that was really cool. It's also very dark and bold, so on this side I made another little pocket with some tracing paper, and we'll tuck this journal card in there, which is made with a paint chip and the cover of an old paperback book. Copyright 1900 there. Some more digital collage. Just a piece of like penmanship paper that you can journal on. And then here's the other half of that. This is a really old French book. Really old. I don't have the front of it anymore, so I don't know how old, but it's old. Here I created a little flip, and inside of it there's just a belly band. I made a journal card here with, this is not an original flash card, this is one that I had printed. It says greenhouse, but lots of room to write on that. Coffee dyed paper here, and here's the other half of that paper bag. Now in this one I also created a writing space or journal space, and I have used an authentic vintage postcard, hotel postcard. Just added some flowers on there, and then I attached a piece of paper to the back so it's hinged. You can use that for writing, but it left the postcard intact so that you have that to look at if you want to. And this is from 1934. The hotel is in Cleveland. There's the back of the wallpaper again. This is a dictionary page where I've added in a corner pocket. Just tucked a little collaged card or tag in there. And this is original page to the book. There are several of these in here with these sort of woodcut illustrations. Most of them I added something to the page, but this one I left blank. You can put your own image on there if you want to. Here I created a side tuck, another journal card. If you watch my videos regularly, I posted one recently of a whole batch of flip-flop journals that I put in my shop, and this is a leftover scrap of paper from that. Here's another little stub here where you can attach a page yourself. This is a vintage glassine envelope that I used to make a pocket. I added the doily on there too just to make it prettier. And another tag or journal card inside here. And this one I used another piece of that same book cover that I used earlier for another one. There is a little bit of a tear here where that thumb hole is. It doesn't bother me too much, but you could put a little piece of tape there, or you could just cut that thumb hole out a little bit, punch it out a little bit bigger if you want to get rid of that little tear. This is some stitch pattern, like iron-on paper. And because it was so heavily creased, there was a little bit of a hole in it. So I just patched that on the back with this little piece of paper. This is from a vintage bird book that I have. It's just a lovely picture. And I just added that strip on there from an opera book that I have. This was from 1946 when that one was performed. And that was at the Met. The back of that book page I've just left blank. And then here is some modern journal paper that I coffee dyed, and some pink glassine paper. And then this is some typed paper that had some kind of a Bible study on it. I did some watercoloring on there, and also punched out some little flowers and glued those on. So it's metallic watercolor on there. And you know what? I've got a little spot there that's coming up. So let's just fix that right now while we're doing it. Got my glue right here. We don't want any troubles. All right. Good. Okay. All right. Now this one flips up, and on the edge of it I added an extension with some more vintage wallpaper, little tab up there too, and the paper I had punched with that decorative punch on the edge. On this side I've added a pocket, and I've used a digital of this pretty frame with the oval cutout, and I attached the plastic from a window envelope on the back so that there is plastic in there. I guess you can see that because it's shiny. Okay. Pretty little tag in there. This was a picture that was actually in a book, and I just cut the page out and then added some collage around her image there. Little bow on the top there. The pink glassine and the journal paper, a little butterfly added here. Here's another digital collage page. Roxy Creations again. On this page I added a pocket made out of a vintage handkerchief, and I used some spray adhesive and attached that to a piece of tracing paper because I was afraid when you put things in and out they would get caught in those little holes. So that is protected and you shouldn't have any problem with it. And then I just added that little paper flower in the corner. It had a pearl glued onto it and I took that off because I didn't want that bump. But then I just stitched a little star in the middle there. Here's a tag. This one I started with a base tag from Roxy Creations and then just added some other things to it. So I'm sounding like an ad for Roxy Creations here today, but I do really love her stuff. This page is made from an Ideals page, and it's the whole thing as a pocket. We'll pull this out, and this is an image that I scanned from an old book that I have, The Pretty Lilies. It had the frame all the way around, but that was too large, so I just took part of it off. But you can see I folded it over to the other side, and then that's just attached to, this is actually a page from an old Reader's Digest book. So journaling, lots of journaling room there. Okay. And then I just took this label and wrapped it around, and on this side it creates a little pocket. And I just have this printout that I printed on cardstock of this Victorian card with the pretty bird on it. Here you can see another one of those illustrations that were original to the book and how I just added some flowers on there. And on this side I created a little flip out with lots of writing room here. And then this was the other side of the dictionary page, and I just glued a label and an image on there. Here is our third signature, third and last, and this is another piece of wallpaper. This has got some pearlized coloration to it, which is really pretty. And I did add some antiqued sort of tape up there because that edge was coming off a little bit. Added a label on this side. Here I've made just a little flip. This is just some coffee dyed or tea dyed lined paper. And because the blue seeped a little bit, it gives it that green color. That's why it's not brown like normal tea dye. This is from an antique scrapbook or photo album, and I just like the way it looks, how it's discolored around the edge, so I just put that on as a flip. You could write on that, or you could stick things in the little holes if you wanted to. Just added a label here. It's another original illustration where I just added a bird on the corner. And then here I've used a label as another uptuck, and this is just another journaling card for you to write on. Some collage. This one I kind of like how you can see the corners. I didn't glue the corners, so they kind of stick up through there like a peekaboo. And then here's a little stub where you can add something if you want to. It's another one of those book pages like we had in the first signature. And here I've created a pocket by folding up the bottom of this page and punching it. And just added a piece of vintage notebook paper here that I just collaged on the front and added that little piece of cheesecloth and a vintage or antique button there. You can see the pretty rose or the pretty flower on that side. It's probably, I don't know if that's a peony or what that is. A page from an old date book and a page from some music. Here's a glassine bag that I've glued in as a pocket. Added another tag here. Again, starting with a base from Roxy Creations and then just adding to it. I like the little piece of crocheted lace at the top of that one. We're seeing the other halves of all of these. In this one I made another one of those. I really liked these. I bought a whole batch of these hotel postcards that are vintage, and I really like how this turned out. I'm going to make more of these. Added a stamp there and some flowers and some paper to write on here. And then this card is from 1942, and the hotel is in Houston. So, go. I don't know if any of these are still there. It'd be interesting to see. These big old buildings, they don't last. All right, one more illustration from the book with a butterfly added. Here I used a printout of an old button card and just used it as a tuck spot and added a little journal card here, just a small one, and I just used this pretty tatting from the edge of a handkerchief on the top of that. And here's another one of those Floral book pages. And then the last one is some wallpaper again here that I added to, and added the flowers. There is my signature and my label. So I hope you like that book. If you're watching the video, then it's for sale in my shop, and I'd love for you to come and take a look. Hope you have a wonderful day. See you soon. Bye.